guys, welcome back. Hope you're all doing well. Just to say thanks very much for joining me again in this particular episode. It's great to be back. Hope that you had a great week or a great weekend, whenever the timeline fits in with this particular episode for you. But yeah, I just hope generally you're feeling good. I'm feeling great myself, and just thought, wow, let's get out there and do another episode. So really pleased to be here today and doing this episode for you. Thoughts and recollections of what's been going on in the previous episodes. Hope you've been enjoying them so far, and if you're new, don't forget to subscribe, and now that will make you part of the family. And for those of you who've been kind of journeying with me so far, hope that you've enjoyed the material, and you're getting inspired and staying inspired by what you're hearing and listening. And I hope above all that, you're learning something, and, this is empowering you in a way that you may not have perceived before that you could be empowered. And as I said, all of my work is inspirational, and for those who don't know me yet, it's Alicia, inspirational author, channel, automatic writer, just basically sharing my work and doing it with the kind of thought in mind of translating what I've learned and sharing it with you, so that you can start to take on some of the teachings and nuggets of wisdom, I call them. I do receive them through my writing as like soulful whispers. So I'm also known as the soul whisperer because I wrote a book called The Soul Whisperer. So at the end of the day, I'm a soulful person coming from a soulful place. And, if you don't believe in this soulful stuff, then just see it from a heartfelt point of view. And if you can do that, that's the first step in the right direction. So far, the series has been going really well. And if you're viewing it or listening to it, it'd be great to get your feedback and, offer your guidance in which direction you think I should take this, or if you're happy with the way things are going, let me know, and I'll just keep doing more of it. I know and believe that my destiny and purpose is to be doing this. So I'm living the dream, so to speak, writing in this way, sharing it with you guys, and those who've watched. By the way, if you haven't watched the previous episodes, please go back and do so. Definitely, I think each one we've kind of progressed, and I think I've progressed and grown into it as part of the series so far. So yeah, definitely, if you haven't watched the previous ones, do so, and you don't want to miss out on anything. And I don't want you to miss out. It's like I kind of feel that I'm also growing and evolving as part of this process, and I would love for you to do the same. And it's kind of like having a one-on-one with you, and just proud in a way that I have the company of others, and your company is valued and appreciated, because it'd be awful if I was talking to no one on a weekly basis. So yeah, it'd be nice, and it'd be nice to kind of keep this going, and it'd be nice to sort of say we're both evolving as part of this process. And I'm really enjoying it. So as of now, I don't feel like I want to stop, or I don't feel like, oh wow, this is taking up my time, or I really feel I don't know, just in the zone, if I can call it that. But yeah, I kind of feel in the zone in terms of, yeah, just being comfortable about being on camera and, you know, talking to camera, which means I'm talking to you guys, of course. But there's just this kind of energy that I feel. I know I can't see you, and you know, it's like I am talking to camera, but I just feel on an energy level that there's connections being made by the right people that need to be here and maybe be either sort of discovering the channel or listening to it on audio, you know, in terms of a podcast, and, you know, just connecting with me on that level. So I feel it. I feel it, although I can't see or hear you just yet. You know, I hope in the future I can definitely do some live streams. I'm really looking forward to that, and that's something that I'm definitely going to build up towards. You know, if my subscribers keep building and there's, you know, people are saying, yeah, do a live stream and so on, then I'm really more than happy to give that a go. Yeah, this is getting out of my comfort zone, but, you know, we've talked about this, haven't we? Sort of having the courage to take yourself out of your comfort zone and stretch yourself. And this is doing, you know, doing this and even going on to do live streams will be doing that for me. But, you know, I'm just starting to enjoy it so much that it's like, I can do this. I feel I can do it. And if I can do it, you know, if I can take these steps, then you can take whatever steps you need to take in your life and, you know, overcome anything that you may consider a challenge. As I said to you, you know, it's taken me ages to get this far, to sit here and do this. So, you know, don't worry, it's never too late. I'm a prime example, and, you know, you can have a laugh at that because it has taken me ages. Anyway, so what do I have for you today? Well, I've got this amazing sort of passage to share with you. I definitely feel it's an interesting one, and you know, as I said, these are from my sort of, it's like a little mini series called Inspirational Photo Quotes for the Soul, and that, you know, it's got nice pictures, and I've actually put audio on it if you watch it in the video format, which I will upload, by the way, and you can get access to that. I'll leave all that in the description anyway, but yeah, I've just been selecting some of my favorites out of this, and I've been talking about them, and that's what I've been doing for the whole series. So yeah, and I've been kind of teaching you to, if you are going to read them, or you want to read them, how to sort of reflect on them and have deeper insight for yourself, you know, not just by what I'm saying, but, you know, that pertains to you and your life and what you're going through and so on and so forth. I can't really niche my work in one category. I hope you can sort of appreciate that, you know, it is a variation because of what comes through. It's very varied, but this is one that is very more tipped to an affirmation, because it begins, you know, allow the prosperity I deserve to flow to me. I mean, you could imagine yourself saying that, you know, to yourself in the morning, every day, you know, allow the prosperity I deserve to flow to me. And with this thought, you know, with this belief, with this idea being seeded in my mind, yeah, and also being seeded within my soul, with this thought, it says, I realize I am already prosperous. So this is basically saying, seed these concepts and ideas, these positive things, you know, they're things that you're speaking to your soul, but you can also kind of on a more physical level, you can also reiterate it and feed it to your mind like an affirmation, you know, so that your mind can start to believe it and say, with this thought, I realize, and you can say, you know what, I realize I'm already prosperous. Now, when we talk about prosperity, it's not necessarily just in monetary terms. You know, prosperity can be gifted to you in all forms, yeah? Like, for example, you may have wisdom, that's a form of prosperity. You may have good intuition, that's a form of prosperity. You may share of yourself so abundantly that that makes you feel prosperous. You may feel prosperous with love. It may be that the love someone gives to you or that you give to someone, you know, whether it's someone you love in terms of a relationship, or even the love you give your children or they give you, or the love of a sibling, the love of a friend, you know, even the love of a co-worker. Those feelings that you're giving may make you feel prosperous. Also, the feelings that you may be receiving can make you feel prosperous as well. So don't view prosperity just on like financial terms. Also view them in terms of who you are, how you feel, what does these feelings invoke within you, and do those feelings make you feel like a prosperous person? Because again, the prosperity you feel within you, whether it's monetary or whether it has to do with emotions or feelings or gratitude, whatever that prosperity is, okay, you know, you've got to own it. You've got to feel it. And this sort of particular affirmation is kind of seeding the thought to know that if you can have that thought, that you can instill it in your mind and in your heart and in your soul, then you're already, whatever it is, that thought process is giving you, or that thought process is now something you're starting to believe in, you're starting to accept, you're starting to feel as if it's giving you value. And the thought of it, yeah, just the thought alone is enough to make you say, I realize I am already whatever, you know, I realize I'm already beautiful. I realize I'm already clever. I'm already smart. You can use it in various terms. I love this affirmation, actually. You know, it's just these things that I'm saying are just kind of coming insightfully to me now as we're speaking. You know, because I've obviously read this and I wrote it, but you know, when I reflect on it, even now I'm having greater and bigger meaning or it's feeling greater and bigger for me in terms of what I'm sharing with you. And that's why I really love this soulful work, because it can bring out so many things that you may never have thought of or delved into. And even as I'm speaking now and sharing about this particular passage on prosperity, you may be saying, wow, I got some insights whilst I was listening to Alicia, or while she was talking. I got some of my own insights, and I kind of got some of my own meanings that are coming out of it by the fact that what she's talking about. Alarm bells are ringing in my heart, in my soul, in my mind, and that's what I love. You know, let them ring. Let them, you know, alert you. Open your inner voice to start kind of hearing what your soul is trying to tell you, what your soul is trying to say. You know, consider that you've kind of been shutting your ears for ages. You know, think of it like an awareness, an opening. And that's what I want you to get out of reading my work and reading these passages, or listening to them, or watching what I'm saying. You know, I know that's listening, but you know, I mean for video people, you know, listening to what I'm saying on a visual level, or if it's podcasts, you're listening on an audio level. But what I want you to do is get it, you know, get what is being shared, get what is trying to speak to you on a soulful level or heartfelt level. Or if you can't even see things on a heartful or soulful level, just see it as, wow, it's being said and I'm allowing my mind to take it in, because if my mind can take it in, then, you know, I can take this deeper as things go on. And that's essentially what I want you to do. And that's what I love sharing or teaching in my own way, to teach you to understand that, you know, these words are written for the soul within you. Because, you know, as I said, I'm giving you my interpretation, but what's your interpretation? You know, listen, if you are enjoying this, if you are, you know, thinking, yeah, I'm kind of beginning to see what she's saying, I'm kind of beginning to get it, then that's fantastic. Let me know in the comments, you know, let me know if you are beginning to open your own kind of inner doorway, because I love to feel, or I love to hear back and love to feel that this is opening doorways for you, you know, and maybe taking you on paths, which is why I kind of have said, or in my series, The Soulful Pathway, is I want people to take these new paths of understanding and new paths of, you know, getting insight into things going on in their life or what they're doing, and allowing the soul to speak to you and guide you and give you guidance and give you direction. And it has the tools to do so. I'll talk about, remind me to talk about the tools, because one of the major things I came across as part of my writing is how well equipped the soul is to assist you as part of your life's journey. And I refer to them as, like, you know, tools that it has in its arsenal to assist you as part of your, you know, life journey and progression. And the tools that it has are very powerful, but they're underutilized. You know, I would say 90% of us, don't even know they exist. Obviously they came through in my writings, in my book, The Soul Whisperer. However, I didn't even know this myself until I recognized it in my writings, and I started to clock what was coming through and what it meant. But I didn't know that as a person. So 90% of us don't know this, and, you know, 90% of us don't know the tools that we have or exist on a soulful level, that we can tap into and that we can make use of and that we can use to manifest things like the things we need or we want or desire. Obviously prosperity being one of them, and, you know, prosperity on all levels. And at the same time, you know, use those tools to enhance our learning and our evolution as people, as we grow, as we develop, as we become who we kind of hope we will be, or the kind of person that our destiny is drawing us towards becoming or being. So yeah, this is sort of my kind of teachings slipping in little by little. I'm weaving it in, you know. I haven't had a full verdict on what you want me to do, but this is at least, you know, dropping sort of little nuggets of wisdom, you know, sort of little bites of information that will help you learn about what I'm saying, you know, slowly, so that, you know, when I get to drop the bigger things, you won't be, oh my gosh, you know, you'll have reached a level where you'll be saying, I get that, I understand that, because as part of this series you've been evolving as well. You'll say at the end of it, I really do get, as things go further and further, what Alicia's trying to teach here, what she's trying to say, what she's trying to share. I really do get it. You know, you'll actually be in that frame of understanding, you know, not just what you've been taught throughout your life, but this is, you know, new thought, new insight that you kind of over time will begin to embrace, because you understand it more as you journeyed along with me. I told you it was going to be a journey. You know, wow, wouldn't it be great if I could just explain it all and say it all, you know, in one video or one, you know, podcast episode, but I can't. You know, it took me time to fathom some of the things that were coming through in my writing. And, you know, as I said, in part of, you know, depending which book, you know, if it's a Soulful Pathway series, my story is a brief story, but in the Soul Whisperer, it's a very longer version of my story. And one of the things I said was that as I started writing, especially what I call part 2 or trilogy 2 in that book, was I started writing information that I wasn't aware of or had no understanding of. So later on, when I kind of looked at all the, as I described it, okay, it was like pieces of a jigsaw puzzle. This information, that information, that information, that information, scattered around through snippets of writings. And then I had to piece it all together. You know, it's not an easy read. That, you know, the Soul Whisperer, yeah, it's not an easy read, because that particular section is all channeled works, and piecing it together to put it in a format that is palatable and very understandable was not so easy for me. But I had to make a choice of whether I leave it as it is in its purity, or I kind of really chop edit it and, you know, reformat it. And I've left it in its original form. Some people get it. Other people struggle with it. So actually this series will probably help anyone who may have struggled with it. However, I thought about it and I thought, you know what, let me do a simplified rewrite version, which means that I will take the information and restructure it. And actually, I've started working on that, doing it with diagrams. You know, it's not that complicated, but I think even doing the diagrams helped me, you know what I mean? Like, it helped me explain it, because I have to. You know, I had to get it. I couldn't write it and say, I don't understand this, you know, but things started to fall into place and jigsaw pieces started forming together. And lo and behold, not only did I clock everything I was writing was about the soul, but I also clocked, you know, other things like these tools and, you know, how it operates and how it all works. You know, this is the information that came through. So definitely, as we go along, I'm going to share that with you, because if I can get you to understand it as well as I do now, You know, I must say I didn't really understand it in the beginning. It took a while to kind of say, what, so does that mean this? Does that mean that? Does that mean this? Does that, you know, what is going on here? But I had to piece it together to put in the book. Otherwise, it was all disjointed. And, you know, but the more I started piecing bits together, it all started falling into place. It was like seeing a picture emerge when you are doing a jigsaw puzzle. And that's the best way I can describe it, really and truly. It was like seeing a picture emerge, you know, like you do when you do a jigsaw puzzle. So much so that I had to change the name. My original name for the book was something else. And in the end, I called it The Soul Whisperer. You know, that's the original version, not the one well, I guess I'll be still calling it The Soul Whisperer with the rewrite, but the rewrite is more of a, like a guide of the book, the original book. But yeah, I had to piece it all together. But what I'll do with the rewrite is piece it together in a way that, you know, is so clear that I can literally teach it. You know, it's not like hard for people to say, I don't get it, because I'm actually putting diagrams in there. You know, I hope they'll be helpful. But even as I've been doing them, it's giving me more clarity, and I'm getting more clarity. As I said, I can't sort of say I know it all just because I wrote it, because of the way it's written. It's channeled, so I don't really get it as it's being written, but afterward I can look through it and piece it together and have more understanding of it. So, you know, if anyone has bought The Soul Whisperer and is scratching their head, don't worry about it. Watching this series was going to help you make so much more sense of it. And there are people who read it and got it and said, yeah, I get this, you know. And I was like, wow, great, you know, thank you. But it isn't an easy read in terms of, you know, you want to read something from A to B, the storyline, I got it, you know, fact, fiction, it's clear, you know, it's light as day. Unfortunately, because of the way it was written, I had to piece it together, and it's not that kind of light of day book A, B, C. It's a book that makes you think. It's a book that, you know, taps into deeper things, and that's not so easy to do when we're trying to live our fast life and we're trying to get things done and do things, and you know, nobody needs that complexity in their lives. If you felt, you know, wow, it was a bit complex, then you can imagine how I felt when I was trying to piece everything together. But yeah, I thought I'm definitely going, I mean, some people may want it in that original form, and, you know, fantastic. I'm proud if you can, you know, sort of enjoy it from your own perspective in its raw format, so to speak. So I thought I'm going to leave it in as pure a raw format as I can. But, you know, if it's like I didn't, you know, get what it was or what she was saying on all aspects of what she was trying to tell us in the book about the soul, then I will bring out this new edition, which is like a workbook or guidebook of the original, you know, the original Soul Whisperer that, you know, has been out for a little while now. But I think I'm enjoying doing this rewrite, which will be me piecing things together for you, so it's easier to teach. That's what I wanted it to do. I want to expand the teachings, the understandings. I want to expand them beyond just, you know, the written word. And that means, you know, talking as I am now, probably for a bit too long, and also teaching as we go along in my own way. You know what I mean? This isn't formal teaching. This is teaching and sharing what I've kind of had the privilege of being able to write, and teaching those with you, teaching you how to use your soul in a soulful way to take you beyond where you are now to where you wish to go. So, hope you enjoyed that. Definitely, I hope you love that affirmation on prosperity. Make sure you say that to yourself. Make sure you believe that with that thought, you are already prosperous. And you can apply it to anything. With that thought, you know, I understand, yeah, whatever it is. And with that thought, I am already, okay? So powerful affirmation there to use in your own way. And yeah, I've actually never seen it in that way. So this has taught me something today as well. So I've really enjoyed it, and thanks for being here with me. Don't forget to stick a like, thumbs up for me. Definitely subscribe if you're new. And, you know, even put those bell notifications on, you know, that will alert you when my next video is out, so that you don't miss out on the series. And, you know, as we grow, it's kind of like a course, isn't it? I mean, in a strange way, it's kind of like a teaching course, or, you know, some sort of evolutionary sort of series of episodes. But yeah, whether you're listening in the podcast version or you're watching the video, great to have you with me. Great the fact that you're here on this journey. I love to use that word because I feel it is a journey and we're evolving all the time. But yeah, so yeah, again, don't forget, if somebody you feel will like this information or needs to hear this information and is on the same level as you, definitely share it. And the more the merrier. And they're always welcome to join us on this little journey we're taking together, you know. And I hope I'm helping you, and you guys are definitely helping me. And having you with me is like feeling so empowered that I'm not just on my own with this, that I have other people interested as well. And if you really love what I do, check out the link in the description. I'll leave more details. You know, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. You know, I don't normally do so much on Facebook and LinkedIn, but, you know, I'm there if those are the things you know, if those are the platforms you like. But Twitter, been going for a long while, and, you know, got great following support there. And Instagram, I've got really nice visual stuff, so, you know, check them out as well. And yeah, if you would love to be a patron and support me, go ahead, visit my Patreon page. Love to have you supporting me, and that, you know, is amazing as well. So you know, there's definitely so much more I have to give, and I just can't wait to keep giving it and keep sharing more. Thanks for joining me. Have a beautiful day. Whatever you feel prosperous from this moment onwards. That's what you deserve to have in your life, and that's where you deserve to be. So I'll love and leave you. Have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye.